I've really been enjoying sewing all these summer dresses, but I realized I don't have many maxi dresses. So I want something very long, very breezy and flowy and comfortable and cute. Obviously, it has to be cute. You will find the PDF pattern in the description below the video. You can download it in either A4 or US letter. The pattern has European sizes from size 34 to size 54. That equals to a bust measurement from 80 centimeters to 128 centimeters. And for the fabric, I would recommend something lightweight. This is a woven viscose fabric that is very light and flowy. I made the mock-up for this pattern in a double gauze, and that turned out great. Really, really comfortable. First of all, we need to assemble the pattern, and I've gotten some questions about how you assemble the PDF pattern. So the pattern itself will be inside this square. What I usually do is I cut away 2 of the sides so I can match up these triangles to each other so they form squares. I wanted to save some paper, so I came up with this solution instead. You will add 85 centimeters between this line and this line. The pattern has 1 centimeter seam allowance included, so there's no need to add seam allowance anywhere when you cut fabric. So this will be the shoulder straps, and I want it about 120 centimeters long. And this includes the underarm bias binding. You will need 1 front piece cut on fold, 1 back piece cut on fold, 1 front bias binding, 1 back bias binding, and 2 straps. The first thing we need to do is stay stitch the armhole on both the front piece and the back piece. As you can see, we have 3 fold lines, and I achieved that by first pressing it once lengthwise, then open it up and press again towards the center crease. Now all the preparations are done and we can finally start sewing. Sew the first row of gathering stitches 0.5 centimeters from the edge, and the second row 1.5 centimeters from the edge. Do that on both the front and the back piece. Adjust your stitch length to the longest stitch you have. Mine is 5 millimeters. Leave a tail when you start and finish the row. To gather the fabric, simply take a hold of the bobbin thread, only the bobbin thread, and pull gently. Gather up the fabric so it's the same length as the front bias binding. And my bias binding has stretched a bit, so I use the pattern piece as a guide. Pin the bias binding to the dress, right sides together. Repeat for the back piece. Sew with 1 centimeter seam allowance. I'll leave the gathering stitches in for now, but I will remove them. So this is the right side. This is the wrong side. What I'll do now is I'll fold the bias binding over. show like this. This fabric is a bit slippery, but this is how we want it to look, and pin from the right side. I will top stitch close to this edge and repeat for the other piece. I removed the gathering stitches by pulling on the bobbin thread. It's very easy, and it's really only the second row that needs removing. The first one is encased within the bias binding. Now we want to close the side seams. So we place the two pieces right sides together, front and back, pin and sew the side seams. And we need to finish the raw edge somehow. Usually I use my overlocker, but I don't have thread that suits this color, so I will just zigzag the raw edge. Press the seam allowance towards the back piece. We're going to sew bias binding in the armhole and make the shoulder straps at the same time. Mark the center point of the strap, match this point to the side seam and pin right sides together. Pin the rest of the armhole and sew with 1 cm seam allowance. Now we do the same as we did with the bias binding in the neckline. We make sure the bias tape is folded once and then fold it over the seam allowance towards the wrong side and pin from the right side. Oops, need to correct that. One moment. Okay, that's fixed. Let's just continue. Fold everything over. So here's the difference from the neckline. Instead of starting and ending here, we want to start and end at the ties. Just pin them together so they form proper ties. I will start sewing here, close to the edge, then continue all the way till the end of the next strap. Top stitch from the right side, and then make sure to leave a tail, a thread tail, so I have something to pull on in the beginning when I'm sewing the strap. Try the dress on and check the length. Hem by folding the edge 1 cm, press and then fold another centimeter. Press again and sew close to the edge.